Right, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you're watching from, whatever your time is. Greetings, welcome again to the fourth episode of Living a Purposeful Life. And if you have been following us up until now, I want to congratulate you. I know you're finding value in these sessions. Um, So today we'll be looking at smart goals without pressure, how you are going to turn clarity into gentle structures. So if you notice, we have been building from the first webinar to the second webinar. The first webinar we talked generally about vision. Second webinar we talked about purpose. The third one we were able to streamline purposes into with for you to identify the most important ones that you can that will bring value to you as a person. We talked about the wheel of life. We talked about a whole lot of things. And today, once you have been able to identify this goal, it's important able to set actionable goals, right? And so this is what we'll be looking at today. So once again, you are welcome back. You are exactly where you need to be on your journey. Um, I want you to acknowledge the work you have done so far. You know, it's not been easy. It takes consistency to grow. And that's one of the things we talked about in the last session. And then that's why you are still here. All right, talking about structure. Sometimes when we are talking about planning your life, put this, do this, structure this, it sometimes looks as if it's a heavy thing. It looks like a big thing. We are not using structure to force change. We are only using it to support change. So look at structure like when you are building a house. Before you see that beautiful house that is being built, there are structures that are underlaying. There's a foundation, and then we have pillars. The pillars, we have beams, iron beams inside each of those pillars. Those are the structures. As a human being, your skeleton inside you is the structure that is supporting your beautiful look, right? And your handsome look is your structure inside. And that's why it's important to build structure. Structure helps to support anything, any endeavor you are into. And so that's why we are looking at structuring your goals, right? So structure can feel restrictive, from previous experiences. Uh, Past pressures, they create anxiety around structures, yes. And then we also have ignoring real life. So at the end of the day, we will not be like, okay, what is all this, structure? How does it really translate to my goals, to what I need to do? All right. But then, the main goal of SMART goals is to provide clarity and support. So no ambiguity, to help you go through this process of structuring rather than control. So they serve to facilitate progress and encourage personal growth in a very gentle manner. Allow me to use that word. So, so if the way SMART goals have felt harsh, right, before now, this is your permission to do it differently. So we have a reframed SMART acronym, right? The first one is supportive. Supportive. You may need to create goals should nurture your growth and aspiration. Check whatever goals you have penned down that you want to achieve. How is it nurturing your growth? How is it supporting your growth as a person? All right. Or if it is a business goal, as a business, it's very, very critical to understand and to be able to identify that this goal is supportive. That the first S is different from what you know before when we talk about SMART goals. The M means meaningful. You need to be able to focus on what truly matters to you in life. If it is a business goal, you're able to focus on what really matters to you as a business. Meaningful goal. Is this goal meaningful at the end of the day? Then we have your A, which remains the same, which is achievable. Set goals that are realistic and attainable for you. Remember, we have vision and we have goals. Vision is a broader outlook of where you intend to be in the future. But there you now need to begin to set goals at every point in time that will take you to that future state when it comes to vision. And so your goals have to be realistic. Your goals has to be attainable. And then the R is relevant. R is relevant. Ensure that your goals align with your core values and your core beliefs. Does your goal align? Is it relevant to your core beliefs? Now we look at returning to the focus. I want you to take a moment and remember, if you can still remember your initial goals, reflect on how they align, right, with your current path, and ensure they support your personal growth journey. What is that goal? If you've been following from webinar 1, you should have your writing, your notes. They have taken your notes at one point or the other. So return, focus on these goals. Once you are there, this specific goal that we are talking about, that you have focused on, it's important that it is a goal that is specific. Now, it helps you to remove anxiety. How will I do this? What am I supposed to do? It helps you, it fosters a sense of direction, which we have established before now. Specificity in goals creates calmness and clarity for your journey. Remember when we were drilling down on our goals? That's why it's important. I asked us to take a minute to remember what is that goal that you actually want to start with. We talked about the wheel of life, about the fact that you can actually have different goals looking at different areas of your life. But what are those goals that you have narrowed down? And what is that goal that you have narrowed down that you want to start with? Because if you don't do that, it's going to be chaotic. Remember, we talked about expending energy everywhere. At the end of the day, you won't get things done. Remember the analogy of Jack and genius. Jack of all trade, master of none. Jack has an idea of everything, but is not good at anything. But a genius has an idea, knows everything about one thing. And knowing everything about one thing gives him an understanding of every other thing at the end of the day. And so it's important that you calm yourself, put your energy together in one thing, your resources, your time. It is very, very important. A goal that ignores your capacity is not supportive. Remember, the first is supportive, right? So it means that by the time you are looking at your goals, you are already seeing, right, a possibility that you can achieve these goals. Remember the passion, you have them. Remember that it is easy for you to do. Remember that when you're learning around those things, it's not stressful for you. You have passion for these things. It is valuable, it is meaningful. People are ready to hear you. People are ready to exchange value for what you have for that particular goal. And so you are already saying that you're already having a support system for that goal, that yes, this goal is actually achievable. So it means setting achievable goals means finding the sweet spot where your aspirations stretch you while remaining realistic. You are still always going to be realistic about your goals. And so this balance helps maintain motivation and respect your current capacity and circumstances. It understands your current limitations, but at the same time, it's not allowing your current limitations to limit you. You are able to stretch yourself as much as possible, but still you always know that, this is my capacity. You are not supposed to ignore your capacity. And that is not an achievable goal. And that's very important. Timing with compassion. There was one that was remaining, that is the T. Now, we reframe deadlines as gentle containers for action. Timelines, time bound is all about when is this goal supposed to end? When am I supposed to finish this particular goal? Time bound. You can't just be continuous and not ending. When am I going to say, okay, at this point I have achieved this goal? When is that time? And so we don't really want to begin to view this time as maybe a very strict limit. But again, remember, our goals should be supportive. Okay? So consider them as supportive guides. They help you to stay on track without feeling pressure. Most times if you have an assignment to do, if you don't put a time to it, most times you find yourself not doing it. This is where procrastination happens. If you have an assignment to do, or you want to carry out anything, if you do not put time into it, you find yourself lazying about it most times. And that is why you need to put time in. The timing is not to pressure you, but it's to guide you. The timing is to help you to be productive, to keep pushing. That's the purpose of timing. And not to punish you if you don't meet the time. All right. I want us to reflect and check within yourself. Ensure that your goals are grounded in your current, capacity and energy level. Right? This goal that you want to achieve, do you really think you can achieve them? Apologies, I see that this reflection is overlapping. I didn't note that before now. Okay. Now, like I said again, our sessions are just touch point sessions. These are not the most important sessions, but it's important. It's critical just to support you in your journey. The most important sessions are the sessions you have with yourself. All right? So as we are gradually wrapping up this series, because the most important, we're still having 2 more to go, which are also very, very critical. But as we're wrapping it up, at this point, I want to believe you already have your goals that you want to start working on. Ask yourself, reflect, these goals, are they goals that I can achieve? If they are goals that I can't achieve immediately, what do I need to achieve them? What do I need to achieve them? Do I need to increase my capacity? Sometimes you may actually need to increase your capacity. Increase your knowledge. Do I need to go for a training? Most times your goals does not mean that you have everything readily available. You might need to go and do some training. Push yourself. Give yourself time in. All right, I need to learn more about this thing. Because if I don't learn about this thing, I can't achieve it. And so push yourself. Ensure you increase your capacity. Because certain things you cannot get done if your capacity is not increased. All right. While we are talking about this, I want to introduce us to a life mastery coaching program. This session we have been doing so far is on living a purposeful life. But again, at some point, if you want to really, really master yourself, because I tell people generally, everyone is a leader. Everyone is a leader. You don't need to have 1 or 2 persons, under you before you see yourself as a leader. As long as you are able to take decisions for yourself, as long as you are able to wake up in the morning and say, this is what I want to do, I am doing this, you are already leading yourself. Come to think of it, there are some people that cannot lead themselves. Really. Some people cannot lead themselves. People who cannot even take decisions. People who lack the ability to take decisions and stand by their decisions, they are not good leaders. So you can't even lead yourself. How will you lead others? And so it's important for you to master yourself, understand yourself. And that's the purpose of this life mastery program. And so I'm introducing this to you. You can join our life mastery coaching program. This is a program you can join at any time. It's a self-paced session, so you don't have to be, joining a session every time like this. You can, whenever you are free, you can log onto the platform and join the sessions. Okay. If you want to explore clarity and support your journey, experience personalized guidance as you create a life aligned with your values. And so this life mastery program equips you with tools, strategies, and support needed to overcome challenges, to master your mindset. This is the core mindset, right? If your mindset is not right, you cannot lead yourself, because the mind is actually a tool. Many people are led by their mind instead of they leading their mind. And so with this course, you are able to understand mindset, how to take control of your mind, how to take charge, all right, and build a life that is aligned with your true purpose. And that's what this coaching session is. And so some of you may feel ready for some extra support. Right? This is the extra support you are going to be getting. Others may not, that's completely okay. And so I thought I should also introduce to you the life mastery coaching program. There's no pressure. And so I invite you to explore this journey at your own pace. Feel free to take your time deciding what support would resonate with you personally. All right. As we progress next week, I want us to, we'll be exploring strategies for overcoming obstacles. You don't want to miss next session, right? We might take a little more time than we have been taking all this while, because this is very, very key. So strategies to overcoming obstacles and maintaining momentum in achieving your goals. You don't want to start your goal and you abandon it. Last session we talked about why of your goals, how you can sustain your goals, and so we want to take it up a little bit. Next week we're going advancing on that. You need to discover actionable insights to get unstuck, right, and keep progressing. If you have ever been stuck, this is one of the key things that we talked about. During the promo and the campaign of this webinar, right? To let you know that you are not alone. If you feel stuck, how do you unstuck yourself in life? How do you face certain challenges that look as if they are stumbling block for you? So we'll be looking at that next week session, which is going to be the second to the last session, and then we have just one more to go. All right. Remember, thank you. Progress grows. Thank you for joining this journey. And remember also, kind structure fosters growth. It's important to create structure around your growth. Remember, you're smart. So your goals should be able to sustain you. Your goals should be able to they should be achievable. Your goals should have meaning to you. All right. Your goals should be realistic, and your goals should also be time bound. Thank you very much for your time today. See you next week. Please prepare for next week. I'm not sure we will have some tools for this week again, but I would confirm again with the team if we have some tools for us to work with for this week. But I'm very sure that next week you don't want to miss it. Thank you for coming out again today. Have a wonderful week. And again, happy new month. It's still a fresh new month. Cheers and bye-bye.